Man.
All of a sudden there's this very sharp rap at the door, and it startled me. I look over, and there's two young men standing outside. Chad is my best friend. He has a background in psychiatry.
He called me and he was genuinely scared. I have never heard Brian be scared at all, ever. Certainly not like this. I had a few friends over that night, and as Brian is talking to me over the phone, they're hearing my side of the conversation. What do you mean weird, freaky kids? And one of the girls that's over says, did they have all black eyes?
She explained that she had had a dream about children with all black eyes recently. And then she told me flat out, oh, if you had let them in the car, you'd be dead now.
It was almost as scary when the girls asked about the black eyes in advance of Brian actually divulging that. Because that kind of was that little additional confirmation that there may be something here.
Man, here we are, Conspiracy Couch episode number 24 with the black-eyed children. What's going on, Loyals to the Foil?
What is up? Hey, fam.
How was
Good
your
to see you guys.
Halloween on the other side of the house?
Yeah, I had 100 kids come over here for their little candy bags. It was great.
Oh, man. Yeah, how is everybody? How was your Halloween, fam? I hope it was really good.
Happy All Saints Day. Happy Dia de los Muertos. For those friends that we have that celebrate that. Yeah, it's All Hallows Day, man. We can still be on the creepy vibe. Black Eyed Kids works great.
Right? Yeah, we were supposed to do this episode last week.
Right.
But that didn't work out. Yeah, that didn't work out. So, and now it's the day after. And, like, for reals, there is an alien standing on my screen. And I'm trying to figure out where it came from. Or what it is, even. Like, that's so strange. It's telling me to grab 31% off. Is that Restream doing that? There's like just a little alien dude standing on my screen telling me to grab 31% off or something.
Right.
I don't know.
Aliens
but that's,
with discounts. Can't argue with that, man.
Man, that's kind of funny. What's going on? Lucy in the Sky, Patricia Saradol, Vaniva, something. This should probably be your job, not my job. Texas Q Patriot with the can. Thank you so much, Texas Q Patriot. What is?
Yeah, who else? I saw Lord QAnon, and I find it too. Thanks,
you
guys, for the shades and the shades. Yes.
Yes, Foil. Do your job, Foil. Do your job. Hey, what's going on, Cat Spotter? Amethyst
Right.
Cat, up 3. It's good to see you guys, man. Maxinon,
Frightening
what's
me.
going on? Thank you
Hey,
for the
Max.
belated birthday. Yeah, man. Oh, the happy birthdays. Thank you, everybody. They've been
Yeah,
incoming for
sorry
a hot
about
minute.
Space Force News last night. Yeah, this one, it just a little under the weather this weekend. We're good. We're here.
Yeah,
we're
I
hyped.
had a rough weekend, guys, but I'm back in full effect, as you can see. So
Right.
we're good to go. And
all
look,
good.
everything's oh no, internet is glitchy. Oh no, please don't tell me that.
What do you mean? Is it saying your internet is unstable?
It ain't telling me that. Somebody out in the chat said that.
Oh,
It's not telling-
uh-oh.
No, we're good.
Dawn has broken. I
Don't
see.
get
I see.
paranoid.
Well,
Don't get paranoid. You know what I mean?
right.
Everything's
So,
fine.
Alara, have
Yes.
you personally had any experiences with black-eyed children?
No.
Do you know? Have you heard any stories at any of your woo fests that you've attended? Nothing. This is actually a really
No.
crazy phenomenon.
Can't
right?
say I have. And I hang around some weird people too. You feel me?
Oh, we might. Hopefully, we got some callers today that
Yep.
might have some stories.
I am
or
hoping we get a caller.
even
that-
secondhand stories. I see
Yes.
Tylena said something about black-eyed presidents. Like we want to hear all about that, Tyler, if you want to call in. But so the black-eyed kids is a relatively newer phenomena, right? I don't know, past 20 years or so. As a matter of fact, the video that we just watched on the intro, that guy is a normal guy by all accounts, right? Journalist. And about 20 years ago, he had come forward to a few friends and told of that story where he was sitting in his car and he was approached by 2 kids. They were hooded kids. It was nighttime, and this is the typical story we get with the black-eyed kids, right? So these things, right, either they're little kids and at the weirdest hours, like when little kids shouldn't be out or whatever, they will approach you, in your car at your house, and try to get you to acquiesce to some request that they've made. And apparently with these black-eyed kids, right, the creep factor is like 12. But the people have all reported their hair stands up, they're feeling some kind of way, and these little kids will come up and, like, say they knock on your house door and they're like, I need to use your phone to call my mother, right? And then the people are like, what? And the little kids, and if you tell them no, like, what are you doing out here? Like, no, you can't come in, then they get real demanding. You have to let me use your phone to call my mother, right? You have to let me in. And then they make this creepy ass request over and over and over again, right? Until you either cut them off and slam the door or walk away. This is an urban legend, guys. So clearly the people that have let them in, we don't have any stories from these people, right? If you guys have anything to throw in the chat on this, I have yet to find a story of somebody said, yeah, I let them in and everything was fine, right? They've been associated with UFO sightings. Obviously, there are alternating theories on this. A lot of people think they might be aliens. We have some information on that. A lot of people, because of their black eyes, they could be demons. I think everything is about demons. So
what if the government created them?
What if they're
What if there's some kind of
what
if they're like androids? What if they're like biological, like the Greys, kind of? You know what I mean?
Right.
Is that technically aliens? No, it's ours.
Let me tell you why I think it's more than likely to be some sort of demonic entity, right? It's because they always need your agreement. You have to let them in. You have to welcome them in. You have to open that door for them, right? And that's something that we find in in the lore.
I wouldn't let them in. Yeah, I wouldn't have an issue with that either.
In here,
we'll be at the door
right?
like, oh, they're kids.
Like,
I'm
gonna call the police for you.
Nope.
You just hold on there. Just click.
I don't care who they
I'll
are.
give you a ride, right?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Thanks, Stacks, for the 700 gold fills for the Woo Fund.
Right?
Sounds like a plan, right?
So where do you want to go from here, Fool? Because we got
Sean
lots
Joe
of
for the
stuff to go.
cookie.
And I want to hear from the people. I want to hear if anybody's had an encounter with these kids. Because like I said, hang out with a pretty strange crowd, and not a near one of them has ever told me a black-eyed kid story. Though it wouldn't shock me if Tyler has one, because he's had too many close encounters. Yeah.
Are we echoing, guys? They're saying we're echoing.
Right.
Some cat said echo. I see.
Oh, Lord. Hold on.
Dawn is broken says it's a cool echo. So, I mean, that works. Thanks, Plant Patriot, for the cookie,
echoing.
and Sean Joe for
don't
another
tell me
cookie.
that. Don't tell me that. All right. But if I shut off the desktop audio. All right. Is the echo? Hold on. Yeah. Is the echo gone now, guys? So we only need that over here. Okay, I get it now. It needed to be... no, because when I shut it off there, it shuts it off here. That's cool. It's cool. We're almost completely succeeding today. Yeah. All right, so... the whole thing. Yeah.
It's almost like it's some sort of soulless creature. The whole
All right.
black. The whole interior of the eye is black.
Where would you like to go from here, sir?
Pull up that second thing.
It's do we purposely save it on 541 or no?
Oh, is that the one? Yes. No, it should be. Hold on, the time on that was.
There wasn't a time. Yeah, man. I don't think this was intentional then. So where do you want me to start on this one? This was the PBS one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just let it play for a minute. You know,
Start at the beginning?
stop. They can't hear me. Now, whatever you do, they can't hear me.
Okay, I'm gonna have to solve that echo problem later. That's absolutely got to
Right.
be on in order for them to hear you.
What
Yeah,
up, white hat?
the audio is completely reconfigured now, so it's okay. Foil is muted. Oh no. All right, can you guys
hold
give me
on.
can you guys give me a 5x5 if you can hear Foil again? Thanks for all your help. Yeah, I hear you, AP. Yeah. Right?
Good to see you, AP.
You volunteering your
Speaking
services?
of,
Big shout out to Maxanon and Rise. They helped me
Yes,
get the audio where
they're
it's at
awesome.
right now. I would not be even where we're at right now. And I'm pretty sure it's fixed, you guys. So I'm probably just doing something semi
all right,
retarded.
I'm back.
right now.
They
Okay,
can hear
she's
me.
back.
It's
All right,
good now.
so all right, so I'm just gonna start. Do we even want to? Yeah. Okay. Sure. Let's roll. Let's see what
Shy
happens.
girl and the hunt for your door and ask if they need help, but when they look up, you are staring into black, lifeless eyes. It's not hard to figure out why these creatures horrify us so much. It's in their name. Black-eyed
Mic
children
check.
or black-eyed kids, also known as BEK, are modern monsters whose eerie and unnatural appearance and behavior inspire fear. The unusual eyes are unnerving, but it's the age of these monsters that really amps up the terror. What is it about evil children that freaks us out so much? I'm Dr. Emily Zarka, and
Because children are supposed to be innocent. That's why.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You know what I mean? They're
They
not supposed
probably
to be,
resonate
they're not supposed
such dark energy. You know.
their children are not supposed to be, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? See, we knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean they're completely innocent and undefiled
Right.
by the
That's
world
what
at large. You know.
makes them great. It's the idea of a child with an agenda like this, and a malevolent agenda, is what freaks out people so bad about this. All right, I'll shut up now.
this is Monstrum. The first report of a black-eyed kid appeared in 1998. Texan reporter Brian Bethel wrote of an experience he had 2 years prior while he was sitting in his car near a movie theater. Bethel claimed that
Rise my gain or my headphones? What do you mean by turn my headphones down? They're down all the way. I don't have any audio coming out of the speakers. Thank you for being here, by the way, and trying to help me. I mean, the only thing I turn is the gain down, but that's just going to turn down my voice, correct? Is it okay to just get through the show? Because I can always figure out what's going on.
Yeah, they
later.
said it was all right on YouTube.
All right.
They can hear
Okay.
that his
that it's
car
good.
was approached by two boys around the ages of 9 and 12 wearing hooded sweatshirts. One appeared as an olive-skinned, curly-headed young man, and the other a red-headed, pale-skinned, freckled young man. Bethel opened the window a crack, and the two boys asked for a ride to their mother's house to pick up some money so they could see the Mortal Kombat movie. To this day, Bethel recalls that when the second one of the boys spoke, he felt an unnatural sense of dread. He pointed out the movie had already started and they wouldn't make it back in time. but the boys began to push harder, saying things like they were just 2 kids and that they didn't have a gun or anything. Bethel describes their
Well, that's
voices
not creepy.
as mechanical and rehearsed. The strange experience culminated in terror when he realized each boy had black eyes, soulless orbs, with no white showing at all.
Do we gotta stop the video? Are we just talk?
well,
We gonna make it?
I mean, so that's the reporter. That was allegedly the initial report on this urban legend came from that guy, Brian Bethel, right?
Should I let a little bit more play?
Yeah,
Or do you
go
want
ahead.
to move on to? Okay.
Understandably unnerved, he began to drive away, but one of the boys banged on his window and angrily cried, "We can't come in unless you tell us it's okay. Let us
Yeah.
in."
No.
Bethel sped off.
Nope.
Upon checking his rearview mirror, he
I'm
noted
out.
that the strange
Yep.
black-eyed children had completely vanished. In 2013, Bethel wrote that his strange experience with these children was originally shared in a private communication with a small group of friends on an email list that then was leaked onto the internet. I couldn't find any evidence of this original document, but Bethel's story is undoubtedly the foundation of all BEK lore, and that's how an urban legend is born. In eyewitness accounts and other stories, the childlike creatures are frequently wearing hooded clothing, although some versions claim they are dressed in antiquated outfits. They
man.
have odd speech patterns, black eyes, and perhaps most importantly, they just don't act in a way we think children should. Similar to some vampire legends, it appears that they must be invited into a private space.
Oh, boy.
And to me, this creepiness evokes fairy, demon, and changeling vibes. Though encounters tend to end without lasting effects.
That's great. As long as you don't invite him in, it's not an issue, right? I mean, that's...
Listen, I don't want them prowling around my house or knocking on my door either way.
Yeah,
Right? That's right. Do not comply. Beginning Hope said, what if these are the exploited children being sold off planet and their vessel is now empty?
Tell Alara to turn up
That's
the volume
creepy.
of video in the YouTube player. Volume of the video in the YouTube. Yes, sir. Oh, it wasn't even up loud. Man, I'm just struggling today. What is going on with me? All right.
Back in the saddle again. It's all right. You got this.
Man, yeah.
Some people who've had run-ins with these creatures report nightmares and agoraphobia. Through the numerous interviews Bethel conducted as his story circulated online, others across the world began to speak up about their own supposed experiences with other black-eyed children. England in particular seems plagued by black-eyed children, and they often serve as fodder for tabloid magazines and newspapers. Like in 2014, when songwriter and paranormal investigator Lee Brickley was interviewed by the Birmingham Mail about the sighting in Cannock Chase, England. The sensational story was quickly picked up by the British and international press. Brickley had been investigating rumored sightings of a black-eyed
Now,
ghost.
remember he said Cannock Chase.
Whitehead brought up a good point. You know, pepper spray, I'm sure would work wonders. You know, at making the little evil children go away.
Man. Pepper spray, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Garlic, holy water, who knows? Something will work.
Something. They can't come in. It's not an issue. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? Since they just mentioned Cannock Chase, this
Good
happens
flow?
all the time. Pull up that video I sent you, the dude, Shane Dawson, whatever the hell his name is, in the
All
red
right,
t-shirt.
All right. Yeah.
The one that I said had some footage of what might actually be, and you guys can let us know what you think in the comments. Right?
Yeah,
this cat
this-
claims.
This one's 257.
Oh.
What? No, it's there. Why do you have so little faith in me, Foil? Come on now. What happened?
No, fam.
What'd I do
YouTube
now?
says stream unavailable, stream suspended for policy violations.
Whoops.
Copyright. Damn, man.
Thanks for making me play the PBS video. I really they weren't looking for a reason to
said
strike
we probably
me down.
should stop and comment on it. We're gonna appeal that.
We are?
Here.
How are you going to
Yes.
do that? You're not running my channel. How are you going to appeal it?
We're gonna appeal it. I don't know. We're gonna figure
Oh,
it out.
we're going to appeal it. Okay, we're going to appeal it. All right, well, that's great.
gonna
I'm
appeal
so
this.
comforted now that I know we're going to appeal it. I don't, I really care anyways. But all right, so my plain homeboy now, this is the 257, correct?
Yes.
Foil? Foil to the foil?
Ah.
That's right. Beautiful
Well,
day.
at least we can't get kicked off now. Shit. Play it.
Black-eyed children, I don't trust them. In England, most of the encounters with the black-eyed children
Turn it up,
happen
though.
in the
There you
Canuck
go.
Chase Forest. A guy was
Yes,
flying
ma'am.
his drone camera over the forest one day, just trying to get like some aerial shots of the forest, and he saw something that looked odd. Check it out for yourself.
Let me know if you see it, because I can't see. You see the thing in the trees?
So then, after he noticed, he decided to get a closer
man.
look.
Oh man, what is that?
I'm not saying it's
I
real.
don't know.
I'm just saying it scared the shit out of me.
I don't
this
know
next
what it
video
is.
was taken off of a TV. Now, it was from the news. There was a really
Now
bad
here's
motorcycle
another one,
accident. A family
right?
of 3 died.
Supposedly,
and the lady
footage
was
of a
talking on the
black-eyed
news,
kid.
And then somebody saw in the background, in the cornfield, there was a black-eyed child. Now, where this was, this area that this was happening, there had been a lot of reports of black-eyed children. So somebody saw this on the news and they videotaped it and zoomed in. Check it out.
Oh Lord, what is that?
See?
Oh, come on, man.
I don't know about you, but that gave me the chills. I don't know. Every time I think about it, like imagine watching the news and then in the background being like, wait a minute, isn't that a black-eyed kid? Whew. Now the last thing I'm going to talk about with this theory is my own personal story. So I have never really talked about this because I thought people would think I was crazy. I didn't know what the black-eyed children theory was until like a year ago. So this is back when I was living in Long Beach and I was probably in high school, and it was like really late at night, probably like 11:30 p.m. My mom was gone, I was the only person home, and there was a knock on my door. So I opened my door and it was a girl, probably like 12 years old, really young, and she was wearing sunglasses. She asked me if I wanted to buy a magazine subscription, which I had that happen to me before, like people wanted me to buy magazines or whatever. It's like a door-to-door thing, but she didn't have anything with her. And when I asked her, I was like, oh, where's like your book of magazines? She said, I don't have one. Do you want to help me? And I was like, what? So I told her no, and then she said, can I come?
I got somebody out there saying there's a super echo again.
Oh, good Lord.
Thank you, Phil Christophers. Appreciate you. Yeah, somebody's saying there's a super echo. Yeah, man. Right?
Yee. Right?
All right,
It's
so
fine.
yeah,
This
so
is
what are
fine.
I hope not. I hope there's not a
Right.
super echo. I hope it's just the little echo everybody else was picking up on. They said that's fine.
Yeah, they're saying 5. I don't know. I see 5 by 5 over here.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so where would you like to go for this on this black-eyed kids topic? I would hope
Okay.
there's somebody that calls in that has had an experience with these things.
Yeah, I do. I would like to hear a first-hand account personally, because it seems like all of these, like it's second-hand, third-hand. You
Right?
know, heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend, right? Like just
You know,
grapevine. I don't know.
PBS is pushing it. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, PBS was on Destination America. Like, I mean, it's the story's been growing, and there seems to be 2 schools of thought on this. Like I said, a lot of people think that these things are aliens, and we have a little bit of a video, right? That kind of covers an encounter where these things were tied to alien craft. So we should probably show them that, and then we'll talk about the other option. Thanks,
Yes.
Plant Patriot, for the cookie.
Are we talking Reddit here? Port Charlotte UFO incident? All right,
Mhm.
all right, got it.
In my video, The Deep End, I discussed cases involving unidentified submerged objects, or USOs. Sometime after that video, I came across a rather chilling USO case that happened on June 10th, 2011, in Port Charlotte, Florida. A man claims he was fishing on a popular local fishing spot on a pier that was directly underneath a bridge. He was with a couple of people that night and, because he wasn't having much luck, decided to move away from them and go to the very end of the pier. They were the only ones on that pier that evening, and he was some distance away from them at the very end of a very long, unlit part of the pier. Where he was standing, he was certain that his friends could not see him. We couldn't see each other at all, he noted in his report to the Mutual UFO Network. As I cast my rod out in the water, I noticed the water straight ahead of me start to move, but not creating any waves or bubbles. To describe it, think of throwing a stone in the water, how there's rings that is created by the stone, and I could see a lot of rings start to appear in front of my eyes. The witness claims that the moon that night was quite bright, which enabled him to see fairly clearly without the aid of a flashlight. Just then he watched as a triangular-shaped object emerged out of the water without making so much as a splash. It hovered directly over the water, moving in an upward direction. At this time, I'm going to make a guess that it was about 7 to 10 feet, hovering above the water, and then I could see this spotlight type of beam of light started to shine from it, and the spotlight was moving around, pointing it on the water, and slowly moving around like it was scanning the area. My first impression was that it was searching for something, but I'm not sure what it was that they were looking for. Whatever it was looking for, they continued for what seemed like a very long time. The witness could only watch in awe as the object moved its light over the water. It was scanning the ocean water as if it was looking for something very important. It did this for a while, I'd say about 15 minutes or even longer. I wasn't really checking the time because I was too shocked and, at the same time, amazed at what I was seeing. Suddenly, in seemingly an instant, the object was gone. It just vanished into thin air. As I was just standing there in complete disbelief, all of a sudden I heard this high-pitched sound and my head started to hurt. The pain in my head was the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. It literally felt like my brain...
10 minutes, dude. Right. So, how do you want to handle that?
I forget because they talk about
Producer?
the kids. I think it's maybe closer to the end.
Oh, okay. So would you like me to fast forward it, or what are we how are we
Yeah,
gonna
just skip
handle
forward
that?
a little bit. Let me see.
Okay. Yeah, this is a 10-minute video. Okay, well, I see black-eyed kids there, so we'll go to what, 426? We'll try
There
that
you go.
out. How about that? Yeah, how about that?
place. It looked like something out of a science fiction movie. And all along the dome, as if it were windows of the UFO, stood these little children.
That's it.
I could see everything and everyone inside
Oh,
very
in a
clearly
UFO?
too. I was
Yes.
not drunk or on drugs either. The witness
Be
claims that
specified. I
these
was not
kids
drunk or on drugs.
all looked to be
Okay.
about the same age, and their faces appeared similar, as if they were carbon copies of each other. They were wearing clothing which appeared, in his words, colorless. The most disturbing
Well, that's
aspect of
creepy.
these children were their eyes. They were black. As they stared at him, he claims he became increasingly more frightened. Behind these children, the man also observed what he describes as giants.
Oh, come on.
These creatures looked
Oh,
human
man.
except for
They got
their
everybody
height.
in one
They
ship.
stood at least 15 feet tall, at least. And that's my guess. It could have been taller. I'm only guessing so you can visualize what I was seeing.
I hate the
These
pictures of
giants
the
were
black
doing
kids.
something in the back.
It's a cruise ship UFO. It's got to be, man. You know what I mean? They got
Right.
everybody on there.
Godzilla's in the back, right? Mixing
Yeah.
drinks, like
Where all these electronic devices were at. That's when I started feeling like I was in danger. I had this gut feeling that I was going to be abducted, and the fear and panic took over me. I quickly started praying out loud, and as I was doing this, I could see these giants walking back and forth as if they were
got mad when he
nervous about
started praying.
something, and they looked at me with a strange look on their faces, as if they were scared, made nervous, and angry all at the same time. The witness claims that he sensed that he was in the presence of something malevolent.
Oh,
something evil.
She's giving me a look like that. The aliens are demons, Alara. The aliens are demons. She's giving me that look.
The
Y'all
only
can't
way
see it.
this makes sense.
Yeah, she's just... Right? Man, I already knew what you were thinking and everything. I was like, oh, here we go. Further confirmation. All the aliens are demons.
Yes, ma'am. White Hat says, Bible says giants were around 13 to 18 foot tall. I mean, that makes sense. Matter of fact, I had a graphic that showed the sizes of the different skeletons they found, and some of them were pretty big. But yeah, that's the only way it makes sense, dude. If the aliens are demons, then all these things can roll together. You feel me?
Right?
I showed you the Katy Perry video. That's solid proof, man.
Oh yeah, she got on one with the Katy. You gotta watch the Katy Perry extraterrestrial video. She's like decoding it. She's like telling me this is what's going on. I'm like, she's like, do you see it? And I'm like, I mean, kinda. Like, I'm tracking you. I know where you're going with this, you know. But like, I don't know that I would have read all that into it when I watched it. But okay, you know what I mean. She's like,
I'm telling you,
she's turning into a fallen angel. Now she's turning back into a angel of light. She has like a whole decode going on.
It was the whole
thing.
thing.
The whole thing. And then look at her. She's got pan legs. Look at the human.
Goat legs.
It's all transhumanism. Like she's giving me a whole
she raised a robot, turned him into a human, like human form. Yep, I'm telling you.
Tyler, I heard you got that lecture too. Go.
Right.
Go ahead, Miss Foyle.
Thanks, CK Whitehorse, for the can. Much appreciated. Yeah, Tylena had to hear all about it on Friday.
We're still calling him Tylena, huh? That's what we're doing?
So, well, yeah.
We're firm on that, huh?
Cider, right?
Okay.
You know, I've got multiple names for everybody and everything. Like, how many names?
You call him that a lot, though. That's kind of...
Well, Tylena,
yeah,
koala.
You do got about 10 names for the dog. It's true. He's got a lot of names. All right, so... Where we're going with this situation is into the tulpa thing. So would you like to start on that subject?
I think there's kind of a third option, right? And stick with me here, guys. So there's an episode of the show Supernatural, right? Which nobody is claiming is absolute sauce, right? I'm just saying it's an interesting theory where these guys, they go to investigate what turns out to be an urban legend that was given so much energy, so much focus and so much concentration that it kind of brought something into the world, right? And there's throughout ancient texts and ancient history, there are accounts of things that the Buddhists called tulpas, which are thought forms that are made manifest with psychic or spiritual energy, right? So imagine a tulpa, right? But with the power of whatever, 100,000 minds behind it. I mean, could it manifest something? So I was thinking maybe these reports of black-eyed kids have grown in presence because as the urban legend spreads, these things are being given more psychic energy.
You know, I'm on that look. I've seen things that people call them a glitch in the matrix, right? We should do a show on glitches in the matrix, right?
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I think some of these things that you see that people perceive as a glitch in the matrix, they're thought forms. They're thought forms that have turned into physical objects temporarily. Like I think, you know what I think some of the planes aren't really planes, they're spaceships that are cloaking as planes, right? But you know, like those ones that stop in midair and okay, where am I going first? The weird, have you ever seen the weird stuff that'll be in the sky for like a minute and you're like, what is that? Like that's not we'll call it a UFO, but it's like, what is that? Is that what, you know what I mean? I think they're thought forms, some of them. These things we see in the sky. You know, and because we're shifting dimensions, I think that,
I mean,
however that works,
there was a Russian UFO experience, I want to say in maybe the 70s, where what the people saw, and it was witnessed by multiple people, was almost like a squid-like entity in the sky with like tentacles and stuff, which, I mean that, who knows? I mean, that's definitely not.
Wait, hold on.
Not
what?
A UFO.
Who saw this, and where was this? What happened with the tentacles?
This happened in Russia. As a matter of fact, I thought I brought this up somewhere not too long ago. Yeah, there was a Russian sighting that was, deemed a UFO sighting because there were UFO sightings in the area. But at the same time, there were several witnesses that were in one of those old communist block like apartment buildings that had seen this thing, and it was like I don't know, like it had like tentacles.
You're not talking about the dude that was climbing up the building in Russia. Like it looked like a spider almost, and it was like a super big spider looking thing, and it was climbing up a
No.
building? Is like in a
this
video
was
that went
something
around?
was seen in the sky. And then, matter of fact, I've seen a couple of UFO videos that look like these squid things. And I'm not talking about the kites, especially with respect to the sighting in the 70s. I mean, that wasn't some giant squid kite, in old communist Russia. I'm convinced, anyway, personally. But since we're talking about thought forms, and you thinking that some of these things that people see are thought forms, I mean, I suppose that might even fit the bill. I mean, what kind of spiritual energy or focus would you need to give something for that to happen? I mean,
what is
I
the
don't
law of one? What does the law of one say about the Men in Black? It says they're it says one of them is a type of like a biological robot, and then it says that the other one is a thought form. That's what it says in the law of one about the Men in Black.
well, I mean, as far as thought forms go, like we find these throughout historical literature, religious texts. I mean, just
He said
for
he
as
says can
long
you
back as
I've read you this, but he said, "Can you lock it in the closet?" Because they're like, "What would happen if I locked it in the closet? Would that be, would that be a bad thing to do or a good thing to do?" Is basically what they ask, right? And I'm pretty sure there's something said about how it wouldn't be effective to lock it in the closet, or would only be effective temporarily, and then it would be able to get out. So whatever that means, like
Whitehat said like fallen angels mixing with humans, maybe Greys mixed with human DNA, and that's how they got the black eyes. Maybe
something like that.
These are some kind of hybrid.
It wouldn't surprise me. I'm telling you, we probably have all kind of creatures we've created in the underground bases that who we're gonna experiment on. Think about it. If you want to see if this creature you just created is effective, you gotta let it out in the population somewhere and let it scare some people. You gotta let some people see it. Is what you gotta do. And then you got to see how that works out, and then watch those people.
Nobody got time for that.
Right?
What's crazy? Like, when we show them this video, they'll see. Like, all right, even things that maybe we're not talking about, even if it's not a physical hybrid of some sort, like even if this is like some sort of thought form made manifest, right? There are people now. The idea of a tulpa has gained kind of a cult following. There are people that call themselves tulpamancers, right? Not even kidding. Tulpamancers. And what they do is they'll tell you, and these videos will show you, like, these things apparently have personality of their own, feelings of their own, thoughts of their own. They've welcomed this thing into their head, and they let it have this autonomous existence within their own mind. Like, man, pull up. It's crazy. You know, I think that's demons too, but I think everything's demons. But nevertheless, pull up. What's the one I sent?
We got the tulpa, and then I got tulpa's thoughts that can come alive. That article, and then real future tulpas, the internet imaginary friends. The video.
Yeah. I think that's it. Pull that one. Maybe. Yeah, pull that one.
Pull this one?
Yeah, pull that one and start playing that one. Because this gives kind of a good intro to it. Yeah, from the beginning. It's not like we can get booted from YouTube again. So, yeah. Thanks, Belushi, for the cookie. They could be the zombies. Could be.
A tulpa is an ancient Buddhist concept that means basically an imaginary friend, a being that exists only in the mind. These people weren't Buddhists, but they liked the idea of tulpas and they started a community. They called themselves tulpamancers. Are these people insane? Or are they just using the internet as a place to experiment with different kinds of identity? To find out, I'm going to meet Sam, a computer engineer, and KT, Sam's tulpa.
Huh?
Sam is
Just
a
wait, it gets
24-year-old
better.
computer programmer, and KT is her tulpa. And what that means is that Sam is the host to an imaginary friend that she's named KT, who has thoughts and feelings and actions of his own. So when Sam becomes KT, there's a whole different person there. And I want to understand how it works, what a tulpa is, and what happens to Sam when she changes into KT. Most tulpamancers are pretty shy about speaking publicly, but Sam wants to bring the tulpa movement out of the shadows and get social acceptance for it. When did you learn about tulpas?
My friend had actually like sent me a chat log of like him messaging his friend's Tulpa, and we were both like, there's no way this is real. And then I started to read up on it, and I finally decided maybe this is for me, and I created a Tulpa.
So describe to me the moment that KT came into existence.
I was sitting like I was meditating, and I just thought, hey KT,
What?
my name is Sam.
Right.
I'm going to be your host. It's very nice to meet you. I just followed the guide. And all of a sudden, I get like a head pressure, which Tulpas can do.
Wow. Does KT have a physical appearance?
Yeah, he has sort of two forms. He has like a human form with like ears and tail, and sometimes
Hey.
he goes into like a regular.
Is this just channeling a demon going on right now? Is that what's
This
happening here?
is what I'm saying, right? But these people are convinced that they are creating their own thought forms and then letting them manifest.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Silver fox form.
Can he talk?
Oh yeah. We talk all the time, and it could be through like speech, it could be through raw thought, emotion.
And what is
I mean,
KT
this could
like?
just be
Describe
really
him to
sad
me.
people
He's like-
trying
That's
to find
channeling,
ways not
dude.
to be alone. I'm aware, right? But and my point is, this is one individual with one thing that they've welcomed in. What would happen if you had, you know, an urban legend focused with the minds of how many people, you know, could these things be thought forms? They could be demons, they could be aliens, they could be thought forms. I mean, who knows? It's conspiracy couch. I'm just throwing out possibilities
Right.
for the woo, right?
So,
Lord
yeah,
knows,
so
I think
let's-
you know what I think.
Let's talk about thoughts about black-eyed children. Possible thoughts on, you know, thought forms and this interdimensional stuff and how that could possibly work, especially with like glitches in the Matrix and all that stuff. So, yeah, let's get into that. I have put the numbers up on the screen, you guys. It looks like my Zoom meeting isn't clipped, but that's cool. We didn't think it all was going to work today, did we? After all that, no. So, yeah, I've opened up the phone lines. We'd love to hear your input, you guys, on this
Yeah,
topic.
Tyler mentioned black-eyed presidents, right?
Cool
I hope he
Halloween
calls in to talk
stories.
about that.
Cool
Yeah, cool
Halloween,
Halloween
stories. If you got any cool, scary Halloween stories. You know, I had totally forgot, Foil, that my friend Jennifer at ESETI, somebody had asked me, did you have a Bigfoot experience? Well, not really. Nothing really tangible for me, right? But she found a shoe. I remember her coming over and being like, Alara, look at this. It's a Bigfoot print. And I was like, no way. She's like, yeah, I just took a picture over there. And she had, like, legit had a Bigfoot print. Well, then she went, she was in a motorhome, I think, or something like that, out in the park. There's like an area where there's a bunch of motorhomes and stuff. She was out there. And I guess like a Bigfoot came up to like manifested in 3D, came up and like touched her in some way, in a very significant way. And she got scared and then it ran off, I guess. But that was probably one of the more up close, personal, intimate experiences I've really heard with a
Bigfoot manifests from a different dimension into this one and physically is
No.
present, right?
No, I don't fully understand the whole, I don't think anybody really does understand the whole interdimensional thing going on here on this planet, but it's my understanding that Bigfoot is a physical third dimensional being, just like we are, but Bigfoot has advanced spiritual abilities, so Bigfoot essentially can teleport, you know what I mean, and can basically
I was
can
going to
phase
say
shift.
maybe these kids are manifesting from another dimension. Thank you, Ass Squatch.
Maybe they are. Maybe they're manifesting from the lower fourth dimension. Well, they sound like demonic entities to me. Either
Man, it sounds all
creations,
bad.
some sort of, malevolent creations made in an underground base, or what was the other theory, that they're demons, straight up,
Yeah,
manifesting in
I
3D
mean-
as children, right? Like, you guys
Could
have
be.
any other wild thoughts about what they could be? But that's
Right.
kind of where I'm going with it. at
Ass
this point.
Squatch gifted the phone and said, Coffee Maker,
What a name.
a great show, Coffee Maker, and you are definitely getting me through my case of the Mondays. We are glad to be of assistance. Right?
Did someone just roll in here by the name of Ass Squatch 48?
Yes.
Right as
I
we're
thought it
talking
was
about
great.
Sasquatch?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Wow, that's amazing. So I see Phil Christophers is here. I'm going to go ahead and let Phil Christophers in. Man, it's so great to be back on with you guys and hanging out. This is fantastic. Yeah.
Super stoked. Right?
Where's Phil Christophers? I don't see. Oh, I got to let him in. I did let him in, didn't I? Oh, there he is. Phil Christophers, what's going on, man? Good to see ya.
Hey, it's good to
Hey.
see you guys again. Whoops. Here, let me go.
You gotta mute the stream. Thank you, FC. Hope you're having a great day too.
There we go.
Phil, how was your Halloween?
Oh, hold on here. I got to shut this.
Okay,
There.
I won't
There
distract
we go.
you.
Now I got you shut off there on the YouTube there, so we don't have any interference there. Oh man,
You're live on the conspiracy couch.
Yes, welcome, welcome.
Oh, messed up here.
That's all right.
Hey. Yeah, my Halloween wasn't much of anything. Though I did have so sometimes when I'm doing Reiki, I'll get a like a green, so kind of like a green screen or green. Well, no, it's not green screen. So like I'll see a cloud of green or like around somebody's face or something like that. And I usually associate that with the Emerald Collective that I kind of use to help me in healing. So it's Archangel Raphael, Green Tara. So a lot of green people, you know, or that represent the green flame, the green healing flame. So yeah, I had a visitation from her yesterday, so I had to channel a message for her.
A green friend came to see you yesterday?
Yeah, the group. Well, it's like it just shows up as kind of a green cloud, and then maybe it'll form into a face. And this is when my eye opened too.
Oh wow!
Awesome.
So not even with the pineal, with the third dimensional physical eyes, you can see this.
Yeah. So I've had that manifestation, and that might be what you're calling a tulpa. I don't know, but I want to throw out another term here, and it's called ekagore.
Yes.
And this is more like what you were talking about, Foyle, where we have a bunch of people thinking about the same thing. Mm-hmm. You know, an urban legend. That is a thing. That we, as the collective, create
reality.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean,
so if we
think
believe
about the
something's
Slender
real,
Man.
then it's real.
Yeah.
That's how the Satanists manipulate. Yeah. So what?
Well,
Right,
I mean,
yeah,
think
they
about
do
the
it.
Slender Man phenomenon, right? So, I mean, that was an urban legend that has kind of taken on a life of its own, to the point that what little girls were willing to murder over it. I mean, that's kind of serious.
Right. Yeah. Well, but this is just a collective consciousness creating it because I mean, we just have great power. We don't realize how powerful we are.
Yeah.
As,
so you think we created it? We created the black-eyed children and every other weird, freaky thing we have on this planet.
Maybe
we created it. It's our collective consciousness.
When we say we, I mean, let's look at it. Where did this originate? Do we even know? Right. So I kind of think this goes back to a Men in Black. So one, I think you even said there that one of them's a physical thing and the other is a manifestation of this tulpa or
a thought
ekagore.
form.
So this is what was created by the CIA to make people keep their mouths shut about UFOs.
Right. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, maybe. Maybe that's another reason why these kids are associated with UFO sightings. You know, I don't know.
Right, yeah,
Maybe they
that's
are.
another thing. It's anything that creates fear. So they'll create this mythos, let's say, urban myth, urban legend. You know, and of course, then we kind of think, well, can they actually create anything? They actually just steal things, right?
Well, they put it out there and then we manifest it, right? I mean, they seed our collective consciousness and then we manifest it. I mean, that would be my understanding, right?
Yeah. No, I think you're quite right on that. One thing though, Foyle, not all ETs are bad or devils.
I know.
Tell her, Phil.
Alara and I have this.
You tell her.
Think about it. It's what we had, the angels and the demons. So there had to be some good guys.
I told her.
I'm sure.
I've told her.
I'm sure. But what I think is that the ones that are actively interfering here can't possibly be up to any good.
She thinks they're all demons. If any alien is communicating with you on any level, it has to be a demon. That's literally what she thinks.
Okay, well.
I mean, I'm just being. This is what she thinks, right? Am I correct, Foil?
Yeah. Well, I don't trust it. Listen, angels have communicated with humans.
Yeah. What about?
Right? How many people
That's
have
why I don't
reported
follow you.
Getting good messages from good. I'm talking about physically causing problems down here, right? Or twisting the truth.
Yeah, but the angelic ones, they don't physically cause problems down here, but they do relay messages to people, which we would deem as channeling. So, but they do that because they don't want to physically show up here. Is the problem
in the name of Jesus or in the name of God, and they won't twist
correct.
The word.
Right. You know them by their message.
Exactly.
You always have to gauge it by their messages.
You always have to test.
Discernment thing.
Yeah.
Like and guys, like work with me here. I definitely believe that physical life has sprung up throughout the universe on however many planets, and that they can't all be bad. Like I'm not like thinking that. I'm talking about things that are interfering with humanity. And maybe coming forward with what to me would be a twisted message. And this is just somewhere where everybody's not going to agree. Like, I'm cool with that. It's, I don't shut anybody down. Like, it is what it is. Like, but I think like not coming in the name of Christ consciousness. Like I believe that if an angel is going to come, they're going to come in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord. This is just my personal thing, and that they're not going to come and give you any kind of message or directive or anything that might be a twisted version of the word. Like, they're going to come to you on some truth.
Right. Well, okay, so now I've channeled energies, let's just say. But I mean, it's mostly because I've contacted them instead of they contact me. I'm asking, well, I mean, except for Green Tar yesterday, that one. But, there's a way you can check that out by the vibration or energy.
I was just going to say that, coming. Phil. I was going to say to me, in my perspective, you just know, because the vibration, the energy of beings that are of the light is completely different from like a negative being can physically deceive you. It can make itself look like it's something good or whatever like that. But energy doesn't lie. The energy of that being won't lie to you.
Well, I mean,
they can say whatever they want. They can look however they want. But it's the energy that won't lie to you.
At one point, angels of light. Like, they can be deceptive, especially to somebody that's really not very discerning. I don't know. Like I said, I could see. Yeah.
Yeah, got a valid point, but
they do.
The thing is that you have to set up. Okay, you have to set up a barrier,
protection.
This is where the witches, they set up a circle, and they call in the quarters. So they're calling in their protection so that only good things can come in. Because you don't want to, it's hard to get rid of demons, I'm just going to say.
Oh, no, I absolutely know that.
But they're coming in on your fear. That's the only way they can get in normally. I mean, that's just...
Right, well, I mean, just like with the black-eyed kid stuff, you have to let them in. You open a door for them, right? I've learned the hard way, and I know I've said this a million times, guys, but, like, I've learned the hard way that you have to be really careful with what doors you open. And sometimes you might not even know that that's what you're doing, messing around with certain stuff, or, like, sometimes it's not as explicit as, like, a Ouija board. Like, you can open doors and not even realize that's what you just did, and sometimes things, when they get attached to you, or when they come for you, or when they're starting to mess with your head, maybe they do give you good information. Maybe they do give you good advice or lead you in a good direction, or you win for a minute and then they got you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then they'll start to twist your thought patterns. Like, I mean, this is a personal, I'm just speaking from personal experience, but like, it might work out for you for a minute, but then it's complete ruckus, Yeah,
well, I guess, I mean, here's the thing, guys. I just come in it from position of strength. I'm not going to give anybody any agency over me.
Right.
Totally. I mean, I'll open up my vocal cords and my mind a little bit to it to get the gist of what they're trying to tell me. But I learned you don't just give over and
and there are people who will.
I mean, Odin is a good example of that. I did a evocation of Odin, and I just I let him in. That was a little noob at that time, I didn't realize you don't do that when you can't control everything around you.
Right.
And all was good there until we were having problems with my neighbor, and he starts shooting off a gun. And one of the people in the group was a Vietnam or a Iraq War veteran. She had PTSD, so anytime the gun went off, she's freaking out. And Odin noticed that, and so I filled him in on what was going on. And he said, "Oh, well, we'll take care of that for the Valkyrie." And boom, I was going.
Right.
You go take care of the neighbor.
Right. Yeah. But, he definitely can't give agency like that.
Yeah. So that's when I learned that. You don't do that one unless you've got your feet tied to the floor, the chairs.
Right. Something. Right. Something. Rise Attire, thank you for the can, says, Loyal to Foil, do you think the entities at Fatima were who they said they were, Mary, etc.? I wonder about that. I also, I have my own conspiracy theories on the three mysteries of Fatima. One being that I think the Pope, what was it? Was it John Paul II that allegedly released the third secret of Fatima? I don't think he gave us the real message. I think that was a show. I don't think we've been given the real third message yet. I think it would panic us.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've heard the third one, and it is kind of dark and foreboding.
I don't think it lines. So, Alara, so basically what it is there were three.
I have somebody in the waiting room, so I just want to let Phil.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much
We
for
love
calling
you.
in.
Thank you for calling in.
You bet. You have a good one, you guys.
Wonderful
You
day.
too.
Bye.
Who do we got joining us now?
Killed by the rabbit. Go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Fatima's really interesting. So there were these three kids that, where were they at? Yeah, it was in Mexico or somewhere in South America, where they saw Virgin Mary came to them and gave them three messages about the end times.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were so secretive that the Pope was the only one that knew the messages, right? Now they released the first two messages, and the Pope had said, like, I am not ever going to tell anybody this third secret of Fatima, like mankind would flip out, like it was some serious stuff, and they weren't going to tell. Well, then, obviously this grew a great conspiracy theory surrounding it, especially among devout people. And the Pope John Paul II, one of the prophecies had lined up with him getting shot, and then he tried to play like he was releasing the third prophecy, but I don't think he ever really gave us the actual message. It's a whole nother show in and of itself. But it was a very crazy. I mean, a lot of people think maybe it was a UFO sighting these kids had, and they think it was Mary, or like there are obviously differing views on that. So Rico says.
Hello, Pilled by the Rabbit. Welcome to the Conspiracy Couch.
That's where it was.
How
on
was
the couch, okay?
How was your Halloween?
Hello. Yes, so good to have you with us.
Oh, so good to be here. I love the couch.
Yes, we love the couch. Super fun.
It's changed a little bit. We don't have libraries behind it. I have like a little bit of a library.
Oh, I forgot about the library thing. I love the creep.
Not much.
That's why you asked me.
I got a chair now, so this is winning, right? Not in a camping chair anymore. That was terrible. But yeah, doing great. Pilled by the Rabbit. How was your Halloween?
I want to wish you a happy belated birthday.
Aw, thank you.
That was Saturday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yep. It's my 3D government birthday day. Born day.
Right.
The day I was
born day.
Allegedly. That's right.
The miracle of the sun. That's right, guys.
Yep. So,
well,
what do you have to add?
Weird. You're talking really deep woo-woo stuff again.
Yes.
What
we are deep into the woo today.
We get Yeah,
that
happens.
was some pretty bizarre stuff.
Which part?
You know, that guy tapping into the thing he was talking to, I found that pretty interesting and
The
strange.
Tulpa thing?
The Tulpa
Yeah.
thing?
What's that about?
There's
I'm
a
convinced-
whole. Sorry, go ahead, Alara.
I'm convinced that, look, we all experience and talk about the same stuff. We just all have different interpretations and ways of describing it, right? But it's all like the same stuff to me. You know, we all are looking at the world through a slightly different lens. That's all.
Well, you know, some of my earliest experiences with people that were sensitive and look around the room and say this and this and this is happening were pretty fun. I used to have a massage school, and on the first day, I had one of my teachers was like, "Okay, to introduce everybody, what I'd like you to do is just stand up and tell us something that we're going to know like about 5 months from now. Just tell us today." And this one lady stood up and goes, "I'm kind of in tune to this other world where I see things. So someday if I walk up and tell you something weird, I'm just warning you now." I remember we were sitting there around lunchtime one day at the massage school, all around this table, and she just starts spouting out that Buddha's over there and he's saying this and this and this, and in the future we're going to be doing this and this. And I'm just sitting there going, well, I just see regular walls. But the content of what she was talking about and the energy was so Christ-like. And it seems like when I had that thought, she was like, she looked at me and she goes, "Jesus is here." And I'm just like, really? What's he doing? And all of a sudden I just start laughing. I go, "Is he laughing?" He goes like he's having a belly laugh. And he's just sitting over there with Buddha. So I just sit back and I just kind of take notes and I listen to everything that's weird. And I just sit with discernment and I just go, as long as I feel a vibration that's high, full of love, I think you gotta be careful where it comes from, because it may not look the way you're expecting it to look, and we're prejudiced enough. We're having enough trouble with colors or or things of that nature. Wait until the color is blue or green, or they have you know, weird stuff, or you know, they're not going to look like us.
Right.
You know, open up, hear what they have to say if you're lucky enough to hear it. I'm not. I have friends that do. It's weird.
Phil Christophers, thank you so much for the super chat, friend. And he's telling me happy birthday. Thanks, you guys. You guys are so sweet. You're awesome. Where were we?
Patriots saying that Tuplas goes way back.
Yeah, they do. I mean, like I said, throughout ancient texts in a variety of languages from a variety of places, you will find the, you know, not always a tulpa, but you'll find the notion of a manifest thought form. You know, and I just wonder, you know, how much of this stuff are we manifesting? How much of this stuff comes from the collective consciousness? How much of this stuff has taken on kind of a life of its own because of the energy it was fed with? You know,
especially if you have a vivid imagination.
Well, there's that, and that
which I do. So sometimes I like hanging out with my buddies so I can nudge them and go, "Did you see that?" And then they go, and then I feel comfy again. But maybe they have a way of touching what we see. I don't know. I just feel like you follow your heart, you'll know what's what and its source. And when things are eternal and Christ energy, they have a particular vibration that you don't find in the other ones. So, you know, if you're getting a message and it's resonating with you, be careful with your judgment, I guess is all I'm trying to say.
Right. I get it. I get it.
So,
I get it. And I try not to be judgy anyway. Like I welcome all theories. I try to welcome all theories.
Yeah, I think whatever we're going to learn, it's going to blow everybody's mind. We're all going to
I'm sure. Listen,
I'm sure none of us. No way. I didn't think it'd be like this at all.
None of us have the whole story.
That's why I have my particular, whatever you want to call it, my belief system, my interpretation, my understanding. But I'm real clear with others and myself about the fact that I know nothing, and I could find out that my interpretation is completely wrong. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm told at the same time of having my own way that I see things, I'm still very open to the idea that I could be completely wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I'm totally cool with that. And I'm open to, and I think that's an important thing too, is to be open to If you can't change your mind on something based on new evidence, your mind's not open. You're going off of a belief system, a prior belief system, and you're not really seeking the actual truth. Like, you know what I mean? Because as the actual truth comes in, you know, you have to be open to, and that's tied to the ego, really, because that's your ego that won't let you think that, oh, maybe you had it wrong, and let you go ahead and adapt now to the new information. That's the ego. So really, it comes down to the inner work and working on the ego. Makes you even able to seek the truth in a fully functional way, right?
Right. Totally agree. Boy, if you can't change your mind, I think that's some kind of mental illness.
Right.
You know,
hey,
you're really stuck.
Hey,
then, and I look around the world today, people just seem stuck. They don't want to make any change. They're like, I think a lot of us are broken or hypnotized somehow.
Well, we were all hypnotized under mind control. So, thank you, Hang 10 Alien Sir, for coming with the cookie.
Hey,
I love cookie
fam.
for you. Thank you. Hey, what's going on, Dolphin? Yeah. So this planet's crazy. Right. Then they all have them all hypnotized with the TV, and you know it's hard enough to break out of it if you don't watch the TV anymore. But the people that still watch the TV and they don't have any idea, they're not. You can't. They're scary.
Oh.
They believe some crazy stuff.
Everybody's living in the meta, right?
Oh, I'm not living in the meta.
The metaverse.
I am not
or whatever
living in
he
the
wants
meta.
to call it.
I'm gonna be meta free. How about you, Pilled by the Rabbit?
Meta free.
I'm gonna break on through to the other side.
There you go.
That's great. That sounds like a plan.
Break on through. Right.
That sounds like a plan. All right, guys. Phone lines are open. We're gonna, I guess, leave the topic kind of open today since nobody really has any intel on the Black Eyed Kids.
Right.
Hey, I'm starting to think this stuff's just a psyop. Look, the Black Eyed Kids is either a psyop or it's a thought form or it's something. Because look, nobody's actually seen one, right? Like, and
except for that
really,
Brian Bethel guy who has stuck to his story this entire time.
Right, and like even those stuff.
I've never seen any.
Even those things we played, like they don't really look. They didn't look like kids on the cool, but I mean, it looked like something weird and scary in the bushes, but not really like a kid specifically. So I don't know. I don't know what I think about.
There was one caught on a trail cam that I will tell you did look like a child. Did look like it was physically manifest. Let me see if I can find it. And had the full black eyes. It was caught, and it was such a random thing. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. But I know Plant Patriot said they wanted to call in. They didn't want to be on camera, but you can just shut your camera off, fam.
Yeah, you can shut the camera off. So yeah, see now that Mountain, I'll let you in first. I'll let you in here just in just a second. So we got two people in the waiting room right now. So Pilled by the Rabbit.
Well,
unless you have any other thoughts.
Thanks for having me, ladies.
We love you. Thank you for calling.
I love you too. Keep up the good work. It looks like so much work running what you do. I appreciate the time and energy you put into it.
Well, thank you.
Have a blessed day.
We appreciate you. Keep shining your light.
I'm hopping out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
thank you. I love his light, dude. It's infectious to me.
Right.
Literally, like
happy,
infectious.
So happy.
Yeah, like it's
for sure.
There's certain people I get around, and it's like a, I don't know how to describe it. You guys will think I'm really weird if I start trying to describe it. Amy Jo, you're next after Mountain. Oh, cool. We're getting some ladies today. This is fantastic.
Woohoo!
What's going on, Mountain? Welcome to the Conspiracy Couch. I see your audio is still connecting. How are you? How was your Halloween?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi,
thank you for calling. Hello.
Yeah, it's great to have some girls calling.
I'm like working from my pajamas at home, so
that's the only way to work from home, right? Is in your pajamas. There's no reason to get dressed anymore. I tell Alara that all the time. Like,
I know.
No reason.
I know. Anyways, I wanted to tell you guys about this experience I had 2 weeks ago. I had this really. I didn't want to tell anybody about it until I told a group of ladies that I'm sure all of you are familiar with. But I was in, it almost kind of looked like that alley in Harry Potter where there's just like shops on both sides.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I often dream about things before I see them or experience them or.
Me too.
Just kind of like down the line. I dream about things before they happen. Anyhow, so I was in this place and I don't know who I was with. I didn't recognize them. But I remember stepping into the shop with glass doors and a glass wall. And I go in and there's this, I'm talking to an elderly woman, right? And she's small, shorter than me, and I'm 5'4". And I go up to her and we're chatting and she's like, "Can I see your hand?" And I said, "Sure." And I'm right away, like my gut instinct, my instinct is like something's off with this lady, right? She's like appears to be sweet, kind,
Right.
she wants to engage with me. But then all of a sudden she's like she wanted to prick my finger and draw my blood.
Oh no.
And so I was like, "What the?" And I'm like, she's like, "We just need some of your blood." And I was just like, "What?" And
Where was this?
Like the old lady. And so when I withdrew my hand, because when she said, "We just need your blood," and she was serious, right? And then all of a sudden she gets this like little smirk on her face. And I was like, "Oh," and then her face started to morph into black eyes, slanted black eyes. And I was like, "Oh, hell no." And I withdrew and I'm like, "I know who you are." And so like when I withdrew my hand, it's almost like the face kind of like morphed into kind of like a gray.
Right.
And then that instinctively made me wake up, but it's almost like I kind of got punished because I woke up with the most excruciating headache. And I had that headache for you can ask Jenny.
Do you have dreams like this? I mean, are you sure it's a dream? Could you be being visited?
That's the problem, is that I think, a lot of the ladies that I speak to that have similar experiences, we've been trying to understand our experiences lately because we feel exhausted most of the time. And I just feel like we're astral projecting or we're doing something, right? Like last week I heard Jenny in the middle of the night walking in the house. How is that possible? I don't know, but I heard her walking in the house. It's kind of like if you heard Alara in your sleep, but she's not awake. She's sleeping in her bed. She's just astral projecting, and the sound that she makes in your house, right?
Oh, you can't miss my feet. Oh no, can't miss my feet. That's for sure.
Allosaurus, you cannot. Yeah. You've earned your name.
No. Yeah, I get grief for this every day. Yeah, I'm.
8 a.m.
Drag your feet?
No, I don't drag them. I just they're
heel toe. Heel.
No, I just let's not get into my feet, okay? But yes, I do walk loud. I walk loud.
Well, you know what?
What?
Jenny has the same thing. She shuffles, right?
Really?
She
so you would know. So it's very distinctive, and you knew it was her.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, she's wearing her flip flops," because I could hear the flip. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but she has a little pug, so I was like, I don't hear Lily behind her, right?
We should
I thought she was letting the dog out.
Go ahead.
Just really crazy stuff has been happening, you guys. And my son is highly gifted too, and so like just a couple days ago, he's like, "I saw Dad," and I'm like, "That's not possible because his dad's alive." And I had in the same night, I had a dream where my ex is like following me around, and I'm like, "What?" It's like it was just like, "Go away." And the same night, Jenny had a dream that the guy that does that parody of how spiritual community talks to each other, like, "You are invading my space."
Yes,
and he has like that red hair.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So she had a dream of that guy bugging her in her dream, and I'm like, "What is going on here?" So I don't know. It's just a lot of weird stuff. And then when I disclosed my dream of the old lady to my group of women that I speak to on the time, often, one of them is a shaman, and she's just like, "Oh my God." She's just like, that was not just a dream. She's like, "That was them trying to infiltrate you." And I was like, "What?" And she was just like, yeah. And she actually went into a deeper journey in which I don't know if you guys want to go into that, but it was insane what she came up with, because it started going into like fables, like Snow White.
Yeah.
So she got the Snow White and being deceived by the apple, trying to be engaged by an old lady to get
Right.
something. So it was just, it like kind of went down. It kind of went a snowballed effect into all these other journeys that she had, and all these, but it basically came back down to AI
Yeah.
and how they're kind of infiltrating our sleep and kind of manipulating us in a way.
Yeah, I believe that.
So it's intense. But I just wanted to call in and share that with you guys.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you
for
so
sharing.
much for calling in. I really, really appreciate you doing so. It's good to see you, and we got to do a show really soon about some weird interdimensional household weirdness that goes on.
Yeah,
because I know I
so
got
weird.
stuff, you got stuff, and there's a ton of people out in that audience that have stuff to talk about, and they want to. We need to have a conversation and try to get to the bottom of what's going on in our house and in our dreams.
Yeah, because the problem is that we're thinking we're flipping crazy.
Right.
Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
But that was real. Like, I had that headache all day. It did not go away. It lingered.
Right.
And it almost, it felt like I was being punished because I did not give consent for my blood to be taken.
Well,
we got to have a conversation about this soon. We got like 5 people in the waiting room right now.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
4 or 5. No, it's fine. No, you're fine, Mountain. So I'm going to have to cut it right here. But yeah, thank you for calling in. And we need to do a show on that subject really soon.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, love
Talk
you
to you
guys.
soon.
Bye.
Thank
Much
you.
love.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Man.
blood and consent are like very strong binding agents in any kind
Okay,
of
I got
spellcraft
Amy Jo,
or anything.
Norm, Amy, and Ray, and I don't know who in what order we got going there, but we'll figure it out. If anybody knows the order, free field, let me know. Amy Jo, what is going on, my friend?
Hello.
Welcome to the Conspiracy Couch.
Good to see you.
Oh, look at you with your cap. Oh, there's my
Look
Amy.
at you.
Hi,
Yee,
girl.
yee. Hi.
How are you guys?
Good.
I wanted
How are
to call
you?
in.
Man, this is
I
exciting.
wanted to
You're
call
calling.
in. Well, I love you, and I miss you, and I wanted to see your faces. And Peeled by the Rabbit is the first time I saw him. I saw him call in here, and I was like, "Who is that light? He is so bright."
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
yeah,
I
it's
love
intoxicating. It's intoxicating. I get a jolt when he comes into the show every time. Yeah, it's cool.
I totally agree. He's awesome. So the subject, you guys, I love this show. I love the show that you guys do. And I love the calls that you guys get because, I mean, it's obvious what my core beliefs are. They align closely to Loyal's. But saying that, I love what Alara said too, that I think a lot of our beliefs align really closely and the terminology differs more than anything. I totally agree with that. And I love hearing people call in, and I love hearing the things they say. And I think one of the dumbest things that you can do is to be completely closed-minded, because loyal, because we don't know. We know, I believe the Bible, so I know what the word tells me, but everything is so absolutely complicated, especially in a realm that we don't walk in every 24/7, that we're trying to learn and trying to understand. And I think it would not behoove us to hear everybody out. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
I
beliefs
love it.
previously aligned very closely with the Lars. I mean, the only reason I even think the way that I think is because I hadn't. So I'm only speaking from personal experience, which is all I can use to guide me. But I don't ever shut anybody. Like Alara and I have these discussions all the time. I think it's extremely important to listen. I listen. I listen to everything. I listen.
And you and I are the same that way. Go ahead, honey.
The thing about an understanding that we have, and I think we all kind of share this really, is that I didn't have her experience and she didn't have my experience, and we both understand that both of us view the world through the lens of that experience, right? And so, and it differed greatly. Like, we've had this discussion all the time. Like, I've asked Jesus to talk to me, I don't know how many times, like over and over and over again. It's never happened.
Well, he did
Okay?
send me a message.
I'm not
remember?
saying right. I'm not saying it's just.
He told me her line is busy.
Extraterrestrial.
And I told her that
we don't want
a
to
year
hear
ago.
it. I've been ringing the phone for a really long time, okay? He talks to my mom. He talks to you. He talks to most of my friends. Doesn't talk to me. Aliens talk to me. I don't know what to tell you. This is just my life, okay? So my lens, of course, is going to be very different than some of my friends because they have very different spiritual experiences than I do. But that's the beauty about our friendship particularly, and I think really all three of us, is that I understand that she views everything through the lens of that experience, just like I view everything as one, and that's why I don't eat meat and why I'm so weird in the ways that I'm weird. It's because of the profound spiritual experience I had that made me be able to empathize with every other creature in creation, and I just couldn't do it anymore. That's me. I don't expect you to do what I did. You didn't have the experience I did. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? And that respect level that we have is what's made us able to do shows like this and be such close friends in spite of seeing things differently. It's the same deal with me and you too, Amy. I mean, for sure.
Yep, absolutely. And I want that universal. I want that universal because without that, we aren't going to ever get to the truths that we're supposed to get to. I don't think that we're supposed to get to everything until we're there. But I think that if we don't do what we do, that it's going to choke us out and we're not going to get anywhere. And oh my gosh, I miss and love you girls. It's been too damn long.
You too.
I just had to come on.
But this is the first time we show up and everything worked thanks to Rise Attire and everything worked.
Yes, thank you.
And I think there's a small little issue to take care of, but that's great. Look, I have a chair now, Amy. Moving on up. And GPS, I can get to the Whole Foods by myself.
Yes. Right?
Yeah, I can go all by myself now.
Can you make it sound Australian?
I tried that when we set it up, but for whatever reason, it reads the streets in English.
Yeah.
Dang.
Right? Kind of sucks, but yeah, I'm working with it. Thank you so much, Amy, for all your love and support and everybody in this community.
I just love you and
in this chat.
And if I'm able, that's it. It's nothing. It's nothing. You guys.
All right, well.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
The black-eyed kids thing is really, everything that I've read, everything is super creepy. Super creepy. Like every time that they come in a super creepy fashion, and fear is always associated with it, and deception.
Right?
Is that
Every
what you
time.
guys found too?
Mm-hmm.
Every
And
time.
most people intuitively that have them, that experience these things, that's exactly what they say.
That's what I've read. I don't know of anybody personally that has had that interaction, but everything that I have read is negative and very dark.
Right.
But do you remember the picture, and Tyler made me think of this earlier, the picture of Kamala, but right before she announced she was about to join the ticket, and it looked like she had either clearly had work done or whatever, but her face was different and her eyes were completely black.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Black-eyed politicians.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are stories of black-eyed adults like that are sometimes seen in conjunction with these kids or whatever, but whenever I think of the BEK thing, like that picture of her always comes into my mind. Her whole face looked different. Even this facial structure, like it looked almost like she was possessed. I don't know. It was wild.
Yeah.
That's what it did. And her eyes were solid black, and it was almost like just a moment of a morph was captured. Just a moment of an exposure was captured. And
something.
Oops.
There's something with these news people. I'm telling you right now, the people on the news.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. The politicians. Yeah, there's something weird going on there. But for sure, these news people are not what they seem like they are.
No, how many lizard eye things have we seen from newscasters?
Yeah, I don't think most of them are human like we are. Could tell you exactly what they are, but I know it's not good. So, Amy, any final thoughts before I let the next guest in? Thank you for calling in.
Yes, I love this. I stinking love this show, and I love you girls, and I miss
We love you.
I'm so glad.
I'm so glad you called in.
I just want to love you. And your show's great. It's up and running, and I'm happy. And I love
Thank
you
you.
guys.
You're
Much
doing
love
great.
to you, Mama.
Yeah. Love you, Amy.
Love you too.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Who just said there? Cutie Pie says there's a video of a black-eyed baby being born to a jabbed mom.
All right, who's is it Ray,
YT?
Norm, or
That's
Amy?
crazy.
I don't know who to let in. I'm gonna let Ray's iPad in first, and then we're gonna go Amy and then Norm. Then I'm not sure who came in first. Ray's iPad. Welcome to the conspiracy couch.
Hello,
You want to give us a name?
Ray.
Ray's iPad. Can we have a name for you?
Oh, is the sound connected? Hello. Oh, it's connecting to audio.
Hello? Can you hear me?
There we go.
Hi.
Yes, hello,
Oh my
Ray's iPad. Do we
I'm
have a
so
name
sorry.
for you?
I don't know how to do any of this. And this is Plant
okay.
Patriot, by the way.
You're fine.
Oh,
Hi,
hey,
Plant
yeah,
Patriot.
you're perfect. See,
Great to
camera
meet you.
off.
There's a reason why I didn't want to be on camera because I'm
Yes,
still
ma'am.
recovering from the weekend. And first of
It
all,
happens.
black-eyed kids, awesome subject. I wish I had I don't wish I had a story, but
Right.
This is the only place though that I can think of to talk about. We're talking about different energies and things like that. Something happened Friday night. My daughter, since she was very, very young, she suffered from night terrors. She's super empathic. Horrible issues with her growing up. Her pineal gland is like 4 times the size as it's supposed to be. Friday night, she called me into her room, and it took me so off guard. She was crying. She was shaking. I can't remember everything she said because I was so in shock because it's so unlike her. But she said, Mom, I don't feel like I'm really here. I'm so confused. She's crying. I don't want to be here anymore. And I was so dumbfounded by what she was saying. But I ended up praying over her and trying to explain to her. I've never really talked to her about what I believe are her abilities because I never wanted to lead her down a certain way, being a Christian and just never wanting to sort of terribly on my behalf acknowledge that. But trying to explain to her that, what you're feeling right now is not you. You're taking in all this energy. We had that X-class solar flare this weekend. It was Halloween weekend and, all the negative energy associated with that. And she ended up calming down and being okay. But then from Friday night until yesterday evening, I had the most horrible migraine and slept. I was so sick all weekend long. And I just thought it was strange. I don't know what was attacking her, but I feel like I took it off of her and put it on myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
seriously. So
Yeah,
this is like the place to talk about that kind of stuff. It was just so bizarre that it was just the strangest thing to her telling me that she doesn't, I don't feel like I'm really here. I don't know what that means. Do you know what I mean? Right. And just, she was confused and it was just a bizarre situation. And
does she see entities in her waking state? Has she ever made a mention? Because I had similar experiences as a kid. Right.
I believe she did when she was younger. And unfortunately, because it tormented her so badly, we did have to medicate her for a period of time because it was so disruptive to her well-being that she's not on medication anymore. But like I said, I believe she did when she was younger and didn't know how to articulate that.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard. I mean, I know personally, as I got older, I didn't know what was going on at first, right? I was raised Catholic or whatever. It took a while before I realized my mother and grandmother had similar experiences, right? But I had night terrors. I would see things and feel things manifest, and it really bothered me. It's never really gone away. There was a period when I didn't see things as much, but that was when I had that thing attached to me. I guess it was just a different type of focus, I guess, you know what I mean? But like even now I can feel the things in my house, You know.
Yeah, me too.
But I
can
mean,
feel
the only
things in your
thing
house.
you can't, in my opinion, not addressing it is gonna leave her feeling crazy and confused. I would imagine that it might be helpful just to sit and have a talk about it. Like, hey, you got to be careful what you let in. There are things like, you know, I mean, and make it obviously according to her age. I mean, there are obviously certain things you don't want to
she's
terrify.
25, so she's
Oh,
not
well,
a
now,
baby.
okay,
Yeah.
definitely sit down and talk to her and just let her know, like,
I'm
she's
gonna
not
have
alone.
to, but it is. It was one of those things that when I look back now with what we went through when she was, this literally started the night before her first birthday. I thought she had a seizure, and we ended up taking her to the emergency room, and that's when they determined that no, it was a night terror. And I'm like, how does a 1-year-old child have a night terror? Like, what is that? And it just went on from there for years. It was terrible, but yeah, I believe that she is super, super sensitive. And like I said, through the CAT scans and things that we had done over the years, her pineal gland is like 4 times the size it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be the size of a grain of rice, and hers is enlarged. And so she's just super, super sensitive. But I just thought that was just such a bizarre. She's had a couple of what I would call fugue states. We've actually had her in the emergency room twice over the years where it's almost like she's sleeping, but she's awake.
Right.
She can't communicate with you. She can't talk to you, but she's just clearly her brain is asleep, and it's she doesn't produce melatonin the way that she's supposed to. So she works second shift because it will be up all night long. I mean, it's a struggle. It's been a struggle. But that was the first time I really had an issue like that was just really just threw me a loop. And then for me to be just so sick over the whole weekend was it was just very strange.
Seemed like a strange, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just wanted to, like I said, I can't think of anywhere else where I could tell somebody.
Right. Yeah. No, you're not alone. Yeah. You guys are not alone. Like,
yeah. Thank you so much for calling in and sharing. You're always welcome to. It's great to finally meet you on air like this.
I wish it was more on point in what we were supposed to be talking about, but like I said, I'm glad I don't have a black eyed kid story.
I don't think people have much input on that, and I just want to hear about whatever people feel moved to talk about today. So it's just.
I would love to hear you guys do a glitch in the matrix, because I've had a couple of those, and I would share it at future time.
Yeah,
but
right.
And I won't keep you guys any longer. Like I said, I know you got other people, but it was just a really bizarre weekend. So
I can imagine. Well, yeah,
you
thank
ladies
you for
have a wonderful
sharing.
day.
Yeah, much love to you.
Thank you so much for calling in. Have a great
Bye-bye.
afternoon. Bye. All right, I'm not sure who was next. I think we have 2 people left. I went ahead and took the numbers off the screen, you guys. So I think we're just going to.
You said Amy and then Norm.
Well, Amy had left. She had some work to do. Bye, Amy. I'm sorry you couldn't. Amy, the butterfly beacon. Sorry you couldn't.
Oh, much love.
I'm gonna let Norm in and then AP, and then we will go ahead and close out at that. Hello, Norm. Welcome to the Conspiracy Couch. How are you doing today?
Hi, fam.
How was your Halloween, man?
So I can imagine.
Mute the stream.
Well, yeah,
You
thank you
ladies
for
have a wonderful
sharing.
day.
Yeah, much love to you. Thank you so much for calling in. Have a great afternoon. Bye.
All right. I'm not sure who was next. I think we have 2 people left. Amateur night, Norm.
Thanks, Heart Whisper, for the super chat. Much love to you. Hey, Norm, what's going on?
Hey,
Good to
not much.
see ya.
How you doing?
How was your Halloween?
It was fine. We did a podcast last night, but
awesome.
But I miss you guys both. I miss your energy. I didn't realize how much I miss both your energy until it seems like it's been a while. So
it's been a while.
It has been a while since before I moved. We came back one time for We tried to for Space Force News, and it didn't quite work out. That was last week. So yeah, we've only done really one show in like probably a month, really.
And you were missed because I enjoy both of your energy so much.
Thank you.
I feel connected.
We love having you.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We adore you too.
And I was going to talk about the black-eyed kids there.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
I first heard about them, I think, on Art Bell's show like 10, 15 years ago or so.
Yes.
It was before George Norrie took over. So yeah, it must have been around that time period. But he had a show one time where he's telling all sorts of creepy stories about.
Let me interrupt you guys for 1 second. Go ahead and continue. I got to get up and grab something real quick. I'll be right back. Okay.
All right. So yeah, he had a show one time where all sorts of creepy stories about where the black-eyed kids were like actually coming to people's doors and knocking on the doors, and that's fascinated me ever since. But I've never seen one, and I've always wanted to know what that was like, because they do have a dark energy, allegedly.
Yeah, I remember that Art Bell episode.
Yeah.
That was a scary one for sure.
Yeah, and wasn't it like 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah, oh, it's been a while. It was when he was doing Midnight in the Desert.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's funny you guys mentioned newscasters, because Tom McDonald has a song called, I think it's called "People So Stupid," or
right,
where he wears the black
eyes as a newscaster.
Yep. And I thought it was really funny that you guys mentioned the newscasters, and that
it's crazy how these ideas kind of sneak into the social consciousness, right? Like Art Bell picking it up. We see examples like Tom McDonald doing it in his videos, like whatever, like this notion, of the black eyes and what that denotes, which a lot of times is like some kind of a soulless thing, has just kind of cemented itself in the social consciousness. Thank you, Paul Thaddeus, for the shades. Much love.
So, yeah, it's really weird that way. And I want to explore this subject more now, because it's been a while. It's been like over a decade since I've actually looked into this. I remember going on Godlike Production GLP and looking up those stories. They had some pretty creepy stories there as well, and Reddit I think had some.
Reddit always has some great. They've got a whole Black-Eyed Kids subreddit, which is crazy.
Exactly.
But exactly. Like there's, I mean, these, you can find it everywhere. Like it's crazy, and the stories like have now spawned into like people writing creepypastas and creating what are obviously
Laura wants to say something.
Can I? Oh, thank you. Paul Thaddeus gifted the shades. Here are some shades for those black-eyed kids. Thank you, friend. We need those shades for those black-eyed kids.
So they're in disguise now. We don't know who they are, except for the dark energy they're putting out.
I'm sorry if I missed any. Amy Jo put in a phone, said love you both. I'm sorry if I missed any gold pills, you guys. You don't have it pulled up, correct, Foil? It's just me.
Yeah, no, I've been thanking them. Okay, it's all right. Yeah, thank you, Deborah R, for the cookie.
Got all those. Okay,
much
great.
love and sweetness. Yeah, I've been trying to keeping an eye.
Okay, cool.
Laura, you get moved okay? Everything work out?
I'm just not feeling well right now. Of course, we had to cancel the show. I'm really still pretty under the weather right now, but I'm, but I missed you guys so much. I wanted to at least try to attempt to come on and do this show today, but yeah,
I appreciate you doing the show, because I miss you guys too.
Yeah,
we missed you guys.
Miss you, man.
And I have to move this
Where are you
month,
moving?
so it's very stressful, and it does wear you down.
Dude, moving across the country like I just did, like you don't really realize how legit that experience is till you go and do it again, and you're like, oh wow, you know what I mean? Like it's like intense. It takes a minute just to decompress from what you just did and adjust to your new surroundings, because I went from one extreme to a complete other just like that, in just about every way imaginable. So
I'm glad you're back, and I'm sure everybody else is glad you're back.
Yeah. We're happy to be back.
Made it through it.
Thank you. To the tornadoes. Did you hear about the tornadoes? Tornadoes chased me, no lie.
Oh, really?
Straight chased me out of Oklahoma. Straight chased me out. Yep. It wouldn't be a Alara trip without some sort of ruckus, madness, and
You could
some
write a
sort of
movie
tale.
about that called Twister or something.
Right?
Right?
It was
Isn't there a
very
movie about
similar.
that?
Very similar.
Yeah.
Hey Norm, thank you for calling in. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
AP and then close the show.
Okay, yeah, I'm working, so I gotta go anyway. But I
Much
just
love
wanted
to
say
ya.
hi and love you guys, and
Yes.
We'll be
So
back
happy to
again
see
next
your
week.
face.
We'll be back again with Space Force news and conspiracy cast. Probably some other stuff. I think
For
we're gonna
sure.
do an Elizondo breakdown and just chat with
Yes.
everybody. Do an Elizondo breakdown because there's some crumbs we want to show everybody in an interview
All right.
sometime this week. I don't know when, but we'll do something like that. And
can't wait.
For sure.
I'll be packing and moving and stuff like that.
Are
but
you
I'll-
are you
staying
moving
in
in
state?
California? Where are you moving? What
Yeah,
state?
I'm just gonna hopefully be moving
Okay,
across
okay.
town. I don't even know where I'm going yet.
Okay.
I was told that the owners of this place is selling the place
Oh boy.
just a
Right.
few days ago. So I don't even know where I'm going yet. So.
Oh man. Okay, well we're gonna have to keep you in the prayers, my friend.
Yes,
that you
sir.
find the right
I would
situation.
appreciate it. Thank
And
you.
while we're at it, guys, Gary Flessner, I heard
Gary Flessner.
in the cult meeting this morning on the Foxhole that he had some sort of a heart attack or something happened. So please keep Gary Flessner in your prayers as well. Norm's situation and Gary Flessner and his
Gary-
current medical.
Gary told me about that as well. So yeah.
Is he okay?
Is he
Do
home
you know?
now?
You know, Gary said, okay, I've known Gary for a while, and he's been sick for the last, I don't know how long, but he's pushing through it. So
Good.
he's already,
He's a strong guy.
been sick, and he's pushing through it. So
Good.
he's strong.
Good.
Yeah, he is. But let's keep Gary
Especially with
Flessner in our prayers.
Everybody's prayers, behind
Right.
him. So
Oh, they
Absolutely.
do. They work wonders. I'm telling you, when I went across the country, everything that happened could have been so much worse. Like it when you really look at it from the higher perspective, it's like I was kind of salvaged several times on that trip from something really crazy happening. So, and here, look, I'm here. Everything works. Once again, thanks to Rise. And progress is being made.
Right.
So it's all
well,
good.
God bless you guys.
Thank you, Norm.
See you.
Much love.
I'll talk to you again.
We'll
soon.
talk again
Much
soon.
love to you.
We'll talk again soon. All right.
Bye.
All right. We got to get some prayers going for Norm, guys, that he finds the right living situation. That's got to be traumatic to just have to move like that and not know where you're going,
right.
what you're doing. Right? Well, I mean, at least I knew where I was going, right? He didn't even know where he's going. Here comes the legend himself, AP,
Oh,
calling
snap.
in live
Hello.
to the conspiracy couch. Let's roll, AP. Tell me how scared you are of me. Yeah, what's going on?
Hello. What are we looking at here? What's going on here?
Oh, this image is supposed to be off. What the
Yeah.
hell?
Well, you got to turn that camera off if you don't want to be showing your noggin on the internet. It's all right. We don't have a well, your camera's still on, my friend.
Like it. You guys can look at the computer. I don't care.
All right. Well, that's cool.
Sounds like a plan.
Look at all your equipment in there. Look at your fancy schmancy studio, AP. Can we see it? Can we get a tour?
A computer.
Look at
Yeah.
How many
that.
monitors you got? How many monitors you got?
Boy.
I'm on a computer set that I do computer monitor.
Yeah. Well, looking good in there. You got all the lights. You got more lights than I do. You're doing great.
Sorry, not monitoring. I do a software design and computer programming.
Cool.
I
I heard
called-
you're real good with the computer. So yeah, what did you want to share about?
I just called to thank you two for being YouTube, and I love you two so
Aw.
much. And I just
We
called
love you.
and that you guys are awesome. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, AP.
We love you, AP.
We love you too.
Like, just called to say hi. And
Well,
that you
wonderful.
guys are awesome.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for calling in to say hi, AP. We appreciate that greatly.
Yeah, and thank you to Nikki for the gold pills.
And for what it's worth, I'm still scared of Alara.
Thank you, Sean.
Well, it happens. It happens.
I'm not
AP.
scary
That's
all
okay.
the time, though.
Well,
You never know with me.
been
You're either gonna
abused.
get hugged to death, or you're gonna get one or the other. Like it's usually
Yeah,
it's
that's
definitely
what I'm
one.
afraid of. You
Yeah.
cut my weed off.
Yeah, but I'm not. You
Oh,
gotta
did you show
really
him your
screw
nice
up
new
for all that,
wiener cutting knife, Alara?
right? Oh, you guys gotta see it. What? Where to go?
Yeah. Hey,
hold on, man.
listen.
Hold on, man. So Foil got me this for my birthday. You guys gotta see this, okay? It's a little mermaid
I give
bag
weapons for birthdays.
with a little mermaid tail on it. You open it up. Now Alara said she needed a knife and a machete and a jump rope. And then look what Foil got Alara. Look at this. This is why it's in my
So
dog.
just for you two,
I got a mermaid. I got a mermaid knife.
I'll
Look
do
at
this just once because I love you two and you two are awesome, okay?
Well, we love you.
Thanks, AP.
Hello.
We love you too. Oh, is that you?
Aw, look
oh,
at
did we just get to see your mug?
We got to see AP.
Yeah,
How
I
cool
did
is
it
that?
just for you guys,
Look at you're a
okay?
cutie pie. Look at you. Look at you. Look at AP. Wow, what a thrill. We got a
Okay,
thrill today,
that's
Foil. We
just
didn't know we
for
were
you
getting a thrill
two,
today,
okay?
did we?
Just because you two are here.
Okay.
And then
Keep
the
it
rest
between
who wanna
just
talk
us,
first.
the Foxhole,
Yeah,
and
that's-
YouTube.
Right, we won't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep it just
Thank
we'll keep
you.
it just between us.
Thank you so much for being yourselves, and I love you two. You two are awesome.
Oh, thank
Well,
you, AP.
thanks for calling.
We love you too. Have a great
Yes.
Have a great day. Bye.
Yes,
Man.
Belushi, I did arm her. Yeah, I give out weapons for birthdays.
Yeah, she
This
got
is-
me
this
a
is
knife with a
thing.
mermaid. How cool is
Yeah,
that?
it's got a mermaid on it, right?
It's kind of gangster. I mean, you know, I wouldn't have particularly selected a knife with a mermaid on it, but the fact that she did, now I'll cherish it forever. You know what I mean? I'll definitely use it. You know what I mean? To stab the
You
insects
love
that
mermaids.
she's afraid of. No, I
See?
do. I resonate with them. They're definitely.
I did make you kill one the other day, though. That was kind of
Kill what? A
entertaining.
mermaid? You didn't make me kill a mermaid.
No, a spider. I made you kill the spider the other day.
This chick comes in. She's hollering. I already can tell by the way she's hollering. There must be a bug in the house. And when I say bug, guys, I'm talking, it could be a fly. It could be a tree frog.
Don't do
Look,
bugs.
She gets worked up when there's a tree frog in the house. Like, it's going to
Well, the
hurt.
tree frog, he
It's
was
all
all right. No, he was cool. Tree
So
frog
there was a
cool.
spider in the kitchen. I had to climb up on a ladder and kill it, you know, and then
She's like, you're
she didn't
making me
believe
kill things.
She didn't believe that it was dead. I had to show her the evidence. And then she still didn't see it. She accused me of lying to her. And I said, I'm not lying to you. Look, it's clearly a dead spider. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not lying to you.
Had
You're
to
a
be
little
sure.
paranoid, Foil. You're just a little bit on the paranoid side. I would never lie to you about killing the spider and not kill it. I killed it.
Thank
killed
you.
it. So just
Yes, I had to be sure. You know how I feel about especially the spiders, man. I can't do it.
All right, so what do we got going on this week? Let's go ahead and wrap it up today.
I am planning on being live tomorrow to talk about cognitive warfare. I've been getting trolled on Twitter about how it's been 84 years since I made the promise that I would come on and discuss this. So that is my goal for tomorrow.
So when do you want to do the Elizondo thing? Can we think of a time to do that this week? I need a few days though. I'm gonna be real right now.
We can.
I got a fever right now and I'm not feeling good.
Before I start the next project, we'll get it
like
in.
later in the week sometime. Mm-hmm. Okay, well we'll talk about it later then. But yeah, at some point I will make a post on Telegram about when we're gonna do the Elizondo thing and about the other stuff. We will be back with Space Force News this coming Sunday and Conspiracy Couch next week, though I don't know what the topic will be yet. But I'm probably going to be doing a lot of random sporadic things here and there, over towards the end of this week and into the next. I'm going to be trying some different things, So, yeah. And then you got your, trivia on Friday?
Trivia on Friday, right?
Trivia
Conspiracy
on Friday.
Theory Trivia. Fridays
Right.
at 8 Eastern.
Yeah, so thanks for hanging out with us today, you guys. It's been wonderful. I didn't think we'd have many stories of black-eyed kids.
Oh, Gary's in the chat. Gary, we love you, just so you know.
Gary, we would like an update on how you're doing. So, we're concerned
Thanks
about
for the
you, just so
cookie,
you know.
Plant Patriot.
Plant Patriot, thank you for the cookie. Yeah, it was great to hear from some, new people and some people that don't regularly call in. That was delightful. I hope what is today right now? Is it Monday? It's Monday, correct?
It's Monday. You better get your bestie. Thank you for the cookie. Alara, don't let her make you kill spider. Let them outside. They send messages.
Oh no,
This
she
is the
wants
problem.
evidence.
And
No. She wants evidence of the death. She wants evidence.
Yes.
She does.
That's
she
right.
is offended by me taking the spider outside. This woman,
Because what
I
does he
have
do?
never
Send
met
messages
anybody
to his boys
so
and come back.
paranoid
We're not doing all
about
that.
bugs.
want
Anybody
them
in my
house.
life. But look,
everything's got to be clean, and there can't be no bugs in the house.
We reached a
Very simple.
compromise, though. I'm gonna make some all natural mosquito repellent. I'm gonna make it up in a big vat. She's gonna get a bottle. I'm gonna get a bottle. So I'm gonna have her using coconut oil with lemongrass and all kinds of good stuff in there on her skin instead of off. So I'm making some progress, guys. Please, keep me in your prayers because it's legit around here. Thank you, Sean Joe, for the cookie once again. Yeah, thanks you guys, and we will be talking to you a little bit later in the week. Please keep an eye on my Telegram for any updates. Foil does use my Telegram too, and so does a few people. So, yeah. And on that note, everybody have an awesome, super awesome day.
Right, we love you.
What was this? That was like a peace and goodbye. That was like
I don't
know what that was, but anyways. And on that note,
right. Lemons, scratching.
Oh, hey, we can go back. Look.
Okay,
see,
we can.
Wasn't
psych.
See, thank God you caught me. I didn't fill out the list every time I don't. We got you guys. Don't. Never fear.
Psych, we're back.
Yeah, hold on just a second. Okay, let's see here. Okay, going to let off the scratching right now. My head is so cloudy. And over on D Live. Let's see here. I didn't buy any cigarettes today. I'm so proud of myself.
Yay!
No cigarettes. That's right. I figured I should just announce it because I am that proud of myself about it. I have not bought cigarettes today, guys. I'm doing good. Okay, so here goes the lemons out on D Live. Sorry, guys, that I almost forgot your rewards. Make sure I write a list next time because we know if I don't write the list, it ain't happening, right?
I gotcha.
So we got to make sure the commander has her list for sure. All right, guys, awesome sauce. We will see you when we see you, which will be, we don't know, basically. And that's soon. We're going to leave it right that. We're going to play the closing again. Everyone have a wonderful day.